and to lower the load. The learning objective of the today's session, efficiency of square threaded screw and efficiency of self-locking screw. So how much efficiency should be? Today we will discuss these 2 points, and these 2 points are very important. Then already last session I have started some of the points how to find out the efficiency of power screw. So you know very well generally the power screws are used. Now take the example we have already seen by using the geometry of a thread. The load W which is moves from the lower end to the upper end on inclined plane. And I have shown it's a lead, then it's a development of a screw pry DM, and here suppose load which is at lower end and it moves on this inclined plane. It's a screw. It's a screw. That means load W which moves from lower end to the upper end of the inclined plane. Then what to find out the efficiency in general, you know very well. Efficiency means output upon input. Output upon input. And to find out this output upon input, so what is the output? Output for this power screw, it means raising the load and how to raise the load and what is the input is required. That means we have to rotate the screw. And how we are going to rotate the screw? By applying some effort. And again in the diagram, or you can refer the example of the screw jack we have already shown at the top portion of the cup. Whatever the load vertically which is acting, that way to lift. But to lift it, the Tommy bar which is used to rotate the screw, and we are applying the effort on the Tommy bar. That is the input. That means first of all we have to take into account what is the output of the screw and what is the input of the screw. The output means raising the of effort, that is P. Now again here to raise the load, suppose it is at the lower end, and to raise up to this. So you know very well when we are going to unwound the thread, I have already told this distance is L, that is lead. That means how much distance traveled by the screw in one revolution or one rotation, that is lead. That means load W which is lifted from this position top to this at a height of L. That's why work output means load into distance travel in the direction of the force, that is W into L. That is work output. And the work input means again to do this activity, I have shown to you DM is here, mean diameter of the screw which is considered and the effort which is applied to rotate the screw. And in one revolution, you know, what do you mean by the lead? How much is the axial moment of the screw in one revolution? That means effort P is applied, and when it completes 1 turn, in the direction of force. Force means here P, that is effort. And because of that, this load gets lifted by a distance, vertical distance or a height, that is L. That's why input means screw rotation by means of effort, and therefore force means effort applied and distance traveled in the direction of the force. And when you will get the height of that L lift, because of one revolution or one rotation of the screw, that is pi dm. Therefore, one input is equal to P into pi dm. And we know very well efficiency is equal to work output upon input. W is the work output and PDM is the PDM into pi circumference here. It's a work input. And again, we know very well, I am going to erase some of the terms. Here, tan alpha is equal to L upon pi dm. You know very well when we are going to, we have already done this activity. This is lead, then this is pi dm, and the angle included is equal to alpha. It's a lead angle or a helix angle. And therefore, we know tan alpha is equal to L by pi dm. So what we have to do, L is here, then pi dm is here. You can substitute this value. So what you will get, efficiency is equal to W by P. into L by pi dm means tan alpha. So you will get efficiency is equal to this equation. But we know that during the, while deriving the expression to let the load, we know that P is equal to W tan phi plus alpha. So what we have to do in equation 1, substitute this. P is equal to W tan phi plus alpha. So what we will get? Efficiency is equal to W upon P. P means this. W tan of what? In bracket tan of phi plus alpha. And here into this tan alpha. Tan alpha. Tan alpha. The W gets cancelled. So what is remaining with you? Efficiency is equal to tan alpha upon tan of phi plus alpha. Only this term. Tan alpha upon tan of phi plus alpha is equal to efficiency. I will show it on next slide. You will find. Therefore, after substituting this value, you will get efficiency is equal to this. You can write down this expression and make a this is important equation. Efficiency of the square threaded screw. I am talking about square threaded screw tan alpha upon tan of phi plus alpha. Now phi is the friction angle. Alpha is the helix or lead angle. That means this efficiency is depends on alpha and phi. Again, you know very well tan alpha means tan of alpha is equal to L upon pi dm. That means here, this efficiency term, there is a phi, there is a alpha. Alpha is having relation with L and pi m. That means efficiency depends on this lead. Efficiency depends on this mean diameter, and phi means friction angle. And you know very well tan phi is equal to mu. Mu means coefficient of friction. That means based on this, we can say efficiency depends on lead, efficiency depends on mean diameter of the screw, and efficiency depends on coefficient of friction. Coefficient of friction. Okay, this is about the efficiency. But there is one problem. What is the problem with the efficiency equation? This efficiency equation of square threaded screw? In this case, only frictional loss at the contacting surfaces between nut and screw, which is taken into account. And it does not take into account the other frictional losses. And because of that, it does not give overall efficiency of the threaded screw. Try to understand. So this efficiency equation is applicable only for contacting surfaces between screw and nut. It does not taken into account the frictional losses such as collar friction. Suppose in case of power screw, this is the curve, then again is the collar, and here the thread, then the body part. You will find this curve part which is coming in contact with the body part here. This collar friction is not taken into account in this expression. That means it does not give overall efficiency. That's why I have written here. This equation does not give the overall efficiency of the screw mechanism. It only take into account the friction loss at the contacting surfaces between screw and the nut. Try to understand. Then what to do to find out it? So for that purpose, to find out the overall efficiency of the screw, along with the frictional loss at the contact surface between the screw and nut, we have to take into account the collar friction also. And in general, I will say efficiency, to find out the overall efficiency, what we have to take into account? The efficiency by taking into account the contact between the screw and nut plus the frictional loss by collar friction. And then you will get the total overall efficiency. We will see that in next session. But before that, I hope you understood these points very clearly. The efficiency depends on this lead, mean diameter, and coefficient of friction. Now look at this efficiency of square threaded screw. If it's plot on x-axis here, helix angle is given. It depends on that. Here on y-axis the efficiency, and it depends on coefficient of friction also, that is mu. So you will find here what you are going to, how you are going to interpret. Look at this. If mu is equal to 0.10, here for this line mu is equal to 0.05. If I am going to construct another line, you will find here mu may be less than 0.05. It may be 0.02, like this. That means as the coefficient of friction decreases, here we, sorry, I am going to here, it's 0.05, it's 0.10. So what is going to happen? Efficiency here, I am, instead of constructing the line, I am going to construct here. What is the value of mu here? That means here, mu is going to increase instead of decrease. So as the coefficient of friction decreases, efficiency increases. You can note down this point. As the coefficient of friction decreases, efficiency is going to increase. And another important point, and as the coefficient of friction increases, efficiency here, it is going to decrease. Try to understand. And that's why I have mentioned here, efficiency decreases as the coefficient of friction increases. This is one important point. That means efficiency is having the relation with coefficient of friction. But how? What is the relation? Efficiency decreases as the coefficient of friction increases. Try to understand. Second thing you will observe here about the helix angle. You will find here from 0 to up to 20-degree helix angle, this efficiency, you know the nature of graph, it's in increasing nature. And you will find up to 0 to 20, it is going to increase, and at 20-degree helix angle, efficiency increases rapidly here. That means efficiency is going to increase at helix angle 20-degree, and you will find it is, or efficiency becomes maximum for the helix angle in between 40 to 45. Look at this. It is increasing here. But you will find here, I am making the circle, this angle, how much? 45-degree. So you will find efficiency is maximum when helix angle is in between 40 to 45. Try to understand. And after that, it is going to again decrease. Try to understand. It is going to decrease. That means you can make some, the key observation. Efficiency increases after helix angle 20-degree. Again, you will find it is, you will observe the increasing trend of efficiency up to 45-degree, and after that it is going to decrease up to helix angle 60, or it is shown here. That means based on this graph, we can make some conclusion. And here this efficiency or graph is plotted when the load is lifted. It's not when load is lower down, it's lifted. So based on that, we can make some concluding remarks. The efficiency increases rapidly after this helix angle 20-degree. Then efficiency is maximum for the helix angle between 40 to 45-degree. Efficiency decreases after the maximum value is reached. Maximum value is reached as 45, and later on it is decreases even though helix angle increases. And then efficiency decreases when the helix angle increases 60-degree. Look at this. Here it is goes down. That's why this statement is made. And then last one that I have already told, as the coefficient of friction increases, that means towards this side, the efficiency is also going to decrease. The efficiency decreases as the coefficient of friction increases. Try to understand. So based on that, we can make some conclusion. Now, very interesting conclusions are, interesting conclusions are, so while selecting the helix angle for your particular application, it should not be less than 20-degree, or you can take as per the my statement, you can take up to, the 12-degree to 15-degree helix angle because it shows the increasing trend for efficiency. Try to understand. Look at this. And again here you will find, even though you are increasing the ellipse angle, you are not going to achieve efficiency 100%. Try to understand. Then second, as the coefficient of friction increases, efficiency decreases. That means to have a maximum efficiency, so what you have to do? You have to reduce the coefficient of friction. And how you are going to reduce the coefficient of friction? For that purpose, you have to use the lubricant or proper lubrication. But if you are going to use a proper lubrication or a lubricant, what would happen? Because of that, there may be possibility of loosening of self-locking property. Try to understand. And that's why we are making the statements. To have a self-locking property, efficiency should be low. Maybe 50% or less than 50%. I will derive that expression, no problem. But try to understand the fundamentals. Again, about the helix angle, you can take more than 12-degree up to 45-degree to have a maximum efficiency. That means while designing the power screw, to have a maximum efficiency, your helix angle should be high in the range of 12-degree to up to 30, 40, 35, no problem. But while selecting this helix angle, you have to take the care of the efficiency, whether you are using this power screw for hot application, whether self-locking is required or whether self-locking is not required, or overhauling. Try to understand. These two aspects are very important. It's not just the case to have a more efficiency. That's why I have selected 25 degrees the helix angle. But because of that, what would happen? You will get the high efficiency. And you know very well, if efficiency is maximum, the power screw is going to lose its self-locking property. We have already discussed that point. That's why the proper care should be taken while selecting these values. And this aspects is very important while designing the project too, which is based on the application of power screw. Try to understand. I hope you understand this concept. It's very important while selecting this value. Then next points, then how to reduce? I have already told these things. Then how to reduce this efficiency? The first one, to reduce the coefficient of friction by proper lubrication. Proper word is having the very good meaning. Proper lubrication. That means it should maintain the self-locking property. And second one, to increase the efficiency, helix angle should be in the maximum up to 40 to 45. But if efficiency is going to increase, I have already told, that means how to increase the efficiency? You are increasing the helix angle. That means you are going to use multi-start thread. That means to have a high efficiency, you should have a high helix angle. And if you are going to increase a high helix angle, that means you have to use a multi-start thread. But kindly note, screw with such a helix angle has other disadvantage like loss of self-locking property. That means for a screw jack application, bench vices application, you don't use this helix angle or you don't use multi-start threads. Try to understand. That means small points that you have to take into account while designing such a things. It's okay now. We'll proceed for the another things. So in earlier, the slides, we have seen the efficiency of the square threaded screw, that is efficiency is equal to tan alpha upon tan of phi plus alpha. I have written the same equation here. Then what you have to do? What is tan alpha? You know the geometry and trigonometry very well. But by using the trigonometric formula, tan alpha means sin alpha by cos alpha. And here tan of phi plus alpha means sin phi plus alpha upon cos of alpha. Then what is done here? This cos alpha you have to send here bottom side and this cos alpha upper side. You have to make the arrangement. So what you will get, sin alpha into cos of alpha plus phi and cos alpha into sin of pi plus alpha. It's okay, this equation. Then you can divide and multiply it by 2 for the both the equation. This is equation number 2. But trigonometric, trigonometric relation you might have studied in 10th, 11th or 12th class in mathematics algebra and part 2 mathematics 2 also. 2 sine A into cos B is equal to sine of A plus B, sine of A minus B. And 2 sine of B into cos A is equal to sine of B plus A plus sine of B minus A. And rearranging the term as per our requirement, because we have to substitute 2 sine alpha into cos of alpha. You can say it's a B or it's a or it's a B or it's a. That's why we have to make the arrangement. Rearranging the terms, 2 cos A into sine B, sine A plus B minus sine of A minus B. So what we have to do? We have to use this trigonometric relation and substitute this B and C in equation 2. So what you will get? I am going to write this expression. It's just a trigonometric relation that we have to substitute this formula. After substituting these values, what you will get here? Efficiency is equal to sine of alpha plus pi and sine of alpha minus alpha plus pi. And sine of alpha plus pi minus sine of alpha minus this. And so what you will get here again here, you can multiply it and solve it properly. Sine alpha plus sine of alpha plus pi plus sine of. Again here, you can substitute this here. Again, what you are going to do, sine alpha minus and minus, you can solve this bracket, sine here. What you will get, sine alpha minus sine of pi. You can substitute this value. You have to solve this. So you will get this expression. And again, you can take this minus sign outside, minus plus here. I have written here. So what you will get efficiency? You can do this activity at home also, no problem. So you will get efficiency is equal to 2 sine of 2 alpha plus pi minus sine pi upon sine of 2 alpha plus pi plus sine of pi. This is the expression for square threaded screw. Again here, you will find coefficient of friction is constant. And you know very well tan phi is equal to mu because it depends on the material. What is the material for the screw? What is the material for the nut? Based on that, we can say coefficient of friction is constant. That means phi term is constant. That means in efficiency equation, only which variable is there? Alpha. And alpha is having relation with L and Dm. Try to understand. Alpha is having relation with L and Dm. Try to understand. That means we can make the statement efficiency depends on this alpha means helix angle or a lead angle or this alpha or tan alpha is equal to L upon pi dm or is having a relation with L and having a relation with mean diameter. Try to understand. This is one important point. Then second, again here, we have to find out the maximum efficiency of the square threaded screw. Look at this equation. To have a maximum efficiency, or we can say N here efficiency max is equal to what? The term sine to alpha plus pi, this term, it should be maximum. And when you will get this term maximum, the sine term is maximum when the sine to alpha plus pi is equal to 1. And when you will get sine theta or sine some angle is equal to 1, when this angle is 90 degree. So we can say here, when this term sine of 2 alpha plus pi is, or you can say this 2 alpha plus pi is equal to 90 degree, then and then you will get sine 2 alpha plus pi is equal to 1. That means maximum value of this term. And then here you will get max efficiency. So now substitute, or you can say, to have a maximum efficiency of square thread, what is the one condition? These terms 2 alpha plus pi should be equal to 90 degree. Try to understand. This is one condition. I will show you how, and we will substitute this value. That means you will get n max, sorry, it's not n max, it's or maximum sign. Yeah, efficiency is equal to 1 minus sin pi upon 1 plus sin pi. You will get a maximum efficiency. I will show here. Therefore, we will write here the alpha is equal to 45 minus pi by 2 degree. Because 2 alpha, 90 minus pi, that's why 90 by 2, that means 40 pi and pi by 2 here. This is the one condition. So you can note down to have a maximum efficiency of threaded square screw. What is the condition? Alpha should be equal to, alpha means helix angle or lead angle, 45 minus pi by 2 degree. This is one condition. And I am going to substitute the sine 90 minus sine pi upon sine 90. And you know sine 90 is equal to 1. So you will get n max is equal to this. You can write down this. Therefore, maximum efficiency is equal to 1 minus sine pi upon 1 plus sine pi. That means maximum efficiency depends on this friction angle phi. This friction angle phi. And what is the condition? This helix angle is equal to 40 pi minus pi by 2. You can note down this. Many times in objective questions, such a questions are asked. What is the condition for maximum efficiency of square threaded screw? That is alpha is equal to this condition, or sine 90 is equal to 1, and that's why substituting 1 here you can substitute. Sine 90 is 1 means to obtain the maximum value of this sine term. That's why it's taken as 90. Try to understand. And you will get n max here. Therefore, and again how to find out it? If friction angle is 30 degree, you can substitute 1 minus 1 by 2. You will get the maximum efficiency 33%. So here again we are going to make some concluding remark based on this condition and based on the equation of the maximum efficiency. The efficiency of square power screw is maximum when alpha is equal to 45 minus pi by 2. And second, maximum efficiency of square threaded power screw depends only on friction angle, which is pi. And friction angle is having relation, you know, tan pi means is equal to mu. That means it depends on coefficient of friction. And maximum efficiency of the square threaded power screw, which is obtained by using this equation. You can remember this equation, note down. Maximum efficiency is equal to 1 minus sine pi upon 1 plus sine pi. That you have to remember. That means today we have seen the efficiency of square threaded screw. Then how to increase the efficiency and how it is having relation with the self-locking property in terms of the helix angle, multi-starch thread, and the mu coefficient of friction, and then how to find out the maximum efficiency of square threaded screw and what is the condition for maximum efficiency of square threaded screw. This is about the square threaded screw. It's okay. I hope you understand these points. Now let us see the next slide again here. Now here we are going to see what is the efficiency of self-locking screw. And you know very well, I have already told many times, to have a self-locking property, efficiency should be equal to 50% or less than 50%. Now today we are going to see it. How we are going to see it? Look at this. We know that efficiency of square threaded screw, that is tan alpha upon tan of pi plus alpha. Already we have derived this expression. We know very well. But here, what is the condition? Because we are finding out the self efficiency of self-locking screw. What is the condition for self-locking? This friction angle should be greater than helix angle or lead angle. And already we have discussed this topic. What is the condition for self-locking of screw? What is the condition for overhauling of screw? Or based on that, this is the condition we know very well. The for self-locking screw, pi is equal to what? Or pi is equal or greater than alpha. So substitute here in the expression of efficiency of square thread, pi is equal to alpha. So what you will get? You can substitute here, or alpha is equal to pi. After substituting, So we are going to write efficiency is less or equal to tan alpha is substituted by phi. Here also pi. So what we will get tan of pi plus pi. So you will get 2 pi. Here it is written efficiency is equal or less tan of pi upon tan of 2 pi. But you know very well trigonometric relation tan of 2 pi is equal to 2 tan pi upon 1 minus tan square pi. Mathematics. Trigonometric relation. So substitute this expression here. So what you will get? This efficiency is less or equal to this tan of pi, and substitute tan of pi means here what you have to do? Substitute this value. Tan of 2 pi means 2 tan pi upon 1 minus. So it goes up. That's why I have written here. So what you have to do? Use the trigonometric relation here. Tan 2 pi is equal to 2. So I am going to write, suppose efficiency is equal to tan of pi upon tan 2 pi means this, that is 2 tan pi upon, instead of that I am going to write into or in bracket 1 minus tan square pi here. Try to understand. And here it is written after substituting this trigonometric relation. And then what you have to do? You can solve it. So what you will get? Efficiency less or equal to tan of phi minus tan cube phi upon 2 tan phi. You can take this tan common. Again, I will erase this. And after taking this tan common, efficiency is equal to what you will get? Tan of phi in bracket 1 minus tan square phi. It's okay. No need to multiply again here. It's 2 into tan pi. The tan pi gets cancelled. So you will remain here. What terms remaining here? This term gets cancelled, this term is gets cancelled. Efficiency less or equal to 1 minus tan square pi upon 2. And you can divide these terms separately by 2 and this term. So again, what you will get here? The efficiency less or equal to 1 by 2 minus tan square pi by 2. Now here look at this. To have a efficiency of the self-locking screw and minus 1 by 2 means minus remaining term. What does it mean? It means efficiency of self-locking screw. Suppose this term is 0, the efficiency is less or equal to half. That means efficiency of self-locking screw is 1 half means 0.5 means 50%. So based on that, we can make the conclusion efficiency of self-locking square threaded power screw is less than 1/2 or 50%. Try to understand. What is the concluding remark? Here, this is 0.5 and this minus this term. That means this efficiency is less or equal to less than 0.5 or equal to 0.5 means 50%. And that's why we are going to make the statement to have a self-locking property or efficiency of self-locking screw should be less or equal to 50%. Try to understand. And that's why while designing the screw jacks where self-locking is important, in case of bench vices, always assume efficiency less than 50%. And to have a efficiency less than 50% or a less efficiency, you have to select the single started thread screw. Try to understand. And if you are going to use a multi-star thread, that means efficiency is going to increase. We have already seen. Again, what is the value of helix angle? That should be in appropriate range to have a efficiency less than 50%. And if you are going to take this helix angle in the range of 40 to 45, you will get the maximum efficiency. We have seen from the graph also. Then second, another coefficient of friction between for the screw and the nut, that value should be appropriate. That means while selecting the material also, you have to take the care. That means while designing the power screw, you have to take into account the efficiency, you have to take into account the helix angle, you have to take into account the single start thread or a multi-start thread, you have to take into account the value of friction angle, you have to take into account the coefficient of friction, you have to take into account the condition, whether the self-locking or whether the overhauling based on the application. I hope you understood this very clearly. This is about the efficiency of square threaded screw and efficiency of self-locking screw, and what is the condition for self-locking screw. That means efficiency of a self-locking square threaded screw is less than half or is equal to 50% or less than 50%. Try to understand. I hope you understood very clearly. If you have any question, you can ask me. 10 minutes time is with you. You can put your question in a question box or a chat box. We will discuss on that. Thank you. I have referred V.V. Bhandari's book Design of Machinery.